Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do this look. It's going to be a very similar video to my last, except I'm only using drugstore products. I did notice I used a lot of high-end in the other one, but I want this to be something that anyone can go and grab at any time if they want to achieve the look nearby. There's always CVS's, Walgreens around, and it's a lot more inexpensive as well, so that's great. So yeah, I just wanted to make it all drugstore. If you want to keep watching, please do. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe, and I thank you so much for even pressing the button to come here and watch me. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hello again, welcome back to my channel. So I put my hair back. To speed things up a little bit, I did apply some of my face base, so I will go through everything. Like I said, this is going to be all drugstore. It's mostly an on-the-go drugstore. It's not like me going out at night. This is basically like an on-the-run type of makeup, but only with drugstore-based products. So I will tell you exactly what I did. The only products I don't own from the drugstore is the setting spray that I'll be using, but I have options because trust me, I've used everything. Again, I love makeup. I bought so much, so I really know what's out there. So yeah, what I did was start off with primer after I did my whole skincare. And I actually might update my skincare because I have been contributing tanning drops into my skincare, which I haven't used this past week, but I figured I could give you a little bit better lighting than the first video ever, and I could kind of show you how I do that as well if you're interested in a little bit of a tan, since I know, if you're from Boston, you're definitely probably thinking, I need summer, I need that tan, but our weather's been actually pretty nice these past few weeks. But anyways, for primer, I have a few options. They're all e.l.f. You could do the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. You could do the e.l.f. Blemish Control Face Primer. This is for, of course, like acne areas. So I have acne here. I didn't use it today, but I got it because why not? And they have like a hydrating one. They have like a mineral infused one as well. I just chose these and I'm obsessed with this one especially. And then what I actually went in with today is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is really, really good. So what I did was it's like butter basically. So they say that this finger and this finger are the best for your skin to be delicate on. So I just take these fingers, warm it up in my hands, and I pat on and rub into like any wrinkles, any of course pores, which I feel like I do have bigger pores, so I love how this shrinks them. This is awesome. Hello, I apologize. Basically my storage was full, so I had to go through and delete them, and just always something. But anyways, so I would say those are my favorite drugstore primers. So I put on the putty primer, and then what I did was apply this Age Rewind from Maybelline multi-use concealer. This is awesome. I dotted it all over my face, and then I blended it out with the e.l.f. powder brush. This is great. It gives you a flawless application. So this is more to even out my skin tone. So what I'm going for is like my last video where you're kind of in a rush and kind of like a natural quick makeup on the go. This is what I'm basing it off. So I'm not using foundation, but I will definitely recommend one because it's so good. This is the Matte and Poreless Fit Me Foundation. This is in the color 128 Warm Nude Beige, and this is so good. So when I want to put foundation on, this is great to use. So that's a recommendation if you want to apply foundation, but I just use this to even out my skin tone. So that part is done. Now we're going to continue. I do have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish, and this is in the color Light Peach. And again, I go for peachy tones to counteract my dark circles, make them look brighter, and this is a really good non-expensive concealer. So I am going to also try to use as much drugstore brushes as I can. Let's see what I have. Another thing is if you use sponges, I have the Real Technique sponge is really good. That's also a lot less expensive. That's a great sponge. I love to use sponges like if you're traveling so that you don't have to pack a lot of brushes. But I think I'm going to go with a brush today, and I think I'm going to use you know what, I'm gonna go with this Eco Tools Wonder Color finish, and that's another brand I love. So I'll talk about probably a few different brands from the drugstore that I'm obsessed with. Eco Tools is a great brand, so I'm going to blend that out with this. So again, I have a mirror right across from me, so that's why I'm looking up. And also have veiny eyelids, so if I can get them covered, I definitely will. Alright. And then just blend. And you can see it's very brightening, and it feels nice. It's like butter. It like blends out so flawlessly. So yeah, I wanted to do this video because I noticed in my last video I did do a little bit of drugstore, but I also noticed that I really was using a lot of higher end products from like Sephora, and I want this to be accessible to everybody. I mean, if I wasn't a crazy person and loved makeup so much, I probably shouldn't be spending so much either on it, but honestly, I'm so passionate about it, so I just go out there and get it. So yeah, but I want this to be as easy for people to get as possible. And yeah, of course I love my higher end products, but there are drugstore ones that are just as great, and you don't have to go out and get the super expensive ones, you know, and still achieve the same exact look. So I love both. Okay, and then I just want to use the warmth of my finger to just make sure it's fully blended. And I think it's really important to blend with anything. There are times, of course, when I'm running and I can't blend as much as I'd like, but if you have the time, it's super important so that everything just looks, you know, so you don't get that line here, and hey, I've definitely gotten that like foundation line there before or when I'm in a rush, and that's why I try so hard to blend as much as I can so that doesn't happen. And then I'm going to use my Real Techniques sponge just to further put that product in, so when I'm set it's not super creaseless. Alright. And I like to do this under my eyes as much as possible, because if you set it creasing like that, it's just, you're gonna be like, oh, I want to like just it to go away, and you're not gonna stop touching it, because that's legit me. Alright, and now I'm gonna use, for setting, loose powder I have is Selfie Ready. This is the inspired by K Beauty, but it's the Joah brand, Joah, and it's really good. So they have banana, they have a white one. I got peach, again, just to counteract the dark circles. So I'm gonna use this. And then the brush I will use is, I'm kind of just, you know, going with it. I'm gonna do Morphe. So I know this isn't at a CVS, but if you go to Ulta and look at their Morphe brushes, it's honestly it's not that expensive. It's pretty inexpensive for the quality is phenomenal. Like, I would spend more on these. So this is the Morphe. Oh, it's scratched out the name of it. I'm so sorry. It's this like dome brush. I think it's more of a concealer brush, but you can use it for anything. Any brush you can technically use for whatever, I mean, in my opinion. But this is more of a concealer brush on there. If you look for concealer brushes, this will be there. So I'm going to use this. And I love it because, again, it's like a dome application, so it can really set so well. And I know this is kind of a lot of powder, but oh well. I'm just going to use that for the rest of my face. So I know I mentioned I wasn't using talc anymore. So the one thing for anyone who like doesn't mind if talc is in it, you would love this. So I don't know, I just heard talc is like not great to breathe in. That's why I'm just trying to stay clear of it. But then again, I don't know. I don't know if that's a myth or if it's true or what. But just want to be safe than sorry, and I figured whatever. I don't need the talc in there. So yeah, this does have talc in it, but I don't own a drugstore one that doesn't. I can definitely do more research if someone like really doesn't want to use the talc and they want a drugstore option. I could definitely, you know, research that. All right, so again, just putting everything on there. I like to set my nose a lot because especially this time I get allergies because it's warm and then cold and then warm and then cold, but we've been pretty lucky here in Boston. I feel like the weather's been pretty generous for us, you know. All right, so yeah, my nose will run and then your makeup comes off, and that's why I set it extra well. And then for my eyelids, I'm going to use the Fit Me in Medium Buff Set and Smooth. This will be for my eyelid. I don't like to use setting powder for my eyelid. It would set it fine, but my thing is I want it to cover my veins, so that's why. So this is the Morphe G14 brush, and I'm just going to use this. Again, Morphe is pretty inexpensive, and you can go to Ulta or you can go online. I really setting my eyelid. So again, the Fit Me powder and then the Morphe G14. It's great for highlighting underneath the brows too, or if you want to like highlight on the tip of your nose, anything like that. This is really great for that. So after that, I'm going to do bronzer. So my go-to drugstore is the Bikini Contest by Wet n Wild. So before I started using the Tarte one in my last video, this was like my legit go-to every single day powder, well, bronzer. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. This is like their angled brush. You can get it at CVS, Walgreens, wherever. So yeah, Morphe you can't find at CVS or Walgreens. You can find that at Ulta, but Wet n Wild you can find at Walgreens, CVS, wherever. And I'm gonna bronze. So I noticed in my last video, I was like, wow, I make some ugly faces when I apply bronzer on. It's so funny because when you're applying makeup, you don't even realize it because you're rushing or you're like focused on that. But when you're videotaping it and then you watch, you're like, okay, this is what I look like when I apply my makeup. Yeah, so allergies are starting to kick in. It's so annoying because when I get allergies, my nose just like runs, and then when you're applying makeup and all that, you're just like, can you stop? I hope I'm not like sniffling in this whole video. If I am, I'm really sorry. And just finishing up a little on my nose. Alright, so done with the bronzer. And now we're gonna go in with the brows. So I have, where is it? So this is the Joa. Again, this is inspired by K-Beauty eyebrow pencil, and this is in the color dark brown. It's their wooden brow pencil. So it looks like this, and then it has a spoolie in the back. So this is what I'm going to use for brows. Brush it. Alright, so I'm just going to fill them in quickly. Girl definitely needs her brows done. Damn. I like did not realize how much they had grown out. But it's alright. No big deal. Alright. And then I'm just gonna brush it out so that it doesn't look so dark. See, I like full brows. I just don't on me like when I can like seriously tell that I filled them in. Like obviously I filled them in, it's clear, but I don't like to overdo it too much unless I'm in a rush. There are times where I'm like, oh shoot, you overdid that, but whatever. And then this is kind of like a tip. So I don't own any drugstore brow gels, but a tip is take a spoolie that you have, and then I'm gonna use hairsprays. So this is the Refinish Control hairspray. You can use any hairspray you want. This is from Monat because I'm obsessed with them. I spray a little on my spoolie, and that's exactly how I'm going to set my brows. So yeah, you don't really need to go out and get a gel if you don't want to, or you know, why not just use hairspray? It works great. Alright, so there's that. Brows are all set, and then I can also see, I wear blush sometimes, but maybe for the purpose of this video I will. Let's see what we have here. So I will use, this is the Hard Candy. You can get this at Walmart. It's very inexpensive as well. It's in the color 125 Living Doll. It's like a very pretty light pink. You kind of look like, it makes you look flushed with a little bit of rose. Very natural looking. And then again, I'm going to use the e.l.f. angled brush for this and just dip it in there. And I love like that sunburn kind of rosy glow. That's kind of why I put it on my nose too. And then I totally forgot my nose contour. So this is the Wet n Wild Call Me Maple number 805 contour stick. So I'm just gonna do that quick. It's best to definitely do this before you do the powders, but in the case that you're me and you forget, this won't be a huge problem if you do it this way. Let's see, and then I'm gonna use, this is Sonia Kashuk Flat Top Concealer Brush. This you can get at Target, also more inexpensive. So I didn't realize how many drugstore brushes I have, and I gravitate to them all the time. They're so good. You really don't need to go out and get, you know, really high-end brushes like Morphe and Sonia Kashuk, e.l.f. Those are all really good as well. Alright, so there's the nose contour. And I did the blush, and now we're going to do highlighter. So I'm going to use, my favorite is Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter. This is in Champagne, and then I also have one in Pearl. These are really amazing. I'm like obsessed, but I think I'm going to go with Champagne today. These, again, you can find at CVS, Walgreens. And then for the brush, I'm going to use, again, from Morphe, Jaclyn Hill GH30 brush. And apply it that way. Like, look at that. This is literally one of my favorite highlighters. It's so good. Alright, and then just so you guys know, in case you need a lip balm, you know, recommendation from the drugstore, this is the Nivea Blackberry Lip Care, and I always put this on before applying my makeup just because it'll get dry quickly, so I love moisturizing my lips while I do this. And now I am going, you can take off the lip balm if you want. I think I'm just going to leave it on. I'm going to use the Milani Matte Naked. This is literally my favorite lipstick from the drugstore. And this is the color Matte Beauty. This is actually my favorite one that I always use, but I think I'm going to go a little bit more nude today. So this is, again, Matte Naked. This is 61, number 61. This is number 69. And then I'm just going to apply this. All right. And then for setting spray, again, I don't have, well, maybe I said this, I'm not sure. I don't have a drugstore setting spray, but I'm telling you, the NYX Dewy or Matte one from the drugstore is amazing. It's really, really good. I'm just so obsessed with the Glam Glow and Morphe. Another one, actually, Morphe is about $16, I believe. I'm obsessed with this. The only reason I haven't been using it as much is because of the oil it contains. That's why I've been using the Glam Glow. But this is amazing. So definitely get your hands on it. The thing I love so much about the Morphe is, and Glam Glow is pretty good with the spray too, but a lot of ones out there the way they spray out just feels so like, I don't know, I don't like that feeling of it splashing all over my face. I like a very like fine mist. Like I can show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but so when you spray, basically it's just a mist, so it's not like splashing at your face. And for me, it's like a pet peeve, I don't know. But Glam Glow is really good about that too, and it just comes out so finely, and I love that. I love the smell of this stuff. It smells so good. And yeah, that's basically it. This is all I would say I would do, you know, for a more, you know, not as heavy makeup. I know there's still bronzer and highlighter and all that, but again, you can do this the way that suits you best. This is just me. I can be a little extra with my makeup, and I'm okay with that because I love makeup. So yeah, this is it. Look at all of my brushes. I think today would be a good day to brush clean and all that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video.